Like, I'd love to have like a landline in my room. I think that's
You
just
can get
so
one.
cool.
They still do them. They make them. You can get one. Ask your parents.
I will.
It's iconic.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, Babysitters Club.
Hi, I'm Jenni Moore, and I played Claudia Kishi on the Babysitters Club in the 90s.
I'm Momona Tamada, and now, 30 years later, I'm playing Claudia Kishi on the Babysitters Club TV show.
And we are about to interview each other
For ET. So my first question for you is, what was it like to represent a Japanese American character in 1990?
Look, times were different in 1990. There wasn't much representation at all of Asian American women and girls or on TV or even Hollywood. It was really limited. We were always kind of like sidekicks and oftentimes fit that really model minority myth. So like super quiet and smart, overachievers, bookworms, definitely not creative and bold and confident main characters like Claudia.
Get beautiful, get smart. Let me make you into a work of art.
Wow, like Joker yet?
Almost.
Even though at the time I really didn't understand how much it meant, it was really important to be a part of changing that narrative. So looking back, I understand so much more how meaningful it was to so many girls out there, to see an Asian girl being fun and artistic and just standing out in such a big way and being bigger than life like Claudia is.
Miss Kishi, stop defacing your shoes and pay attention. We wouldn't want to have another failed quiz on your average, would we?
I think she just breaks all these stereotypes, and she's just so, I think, unapologetically like herself.
You're agreeing with me, right?
Absolutely.
She just is confident in her own skin and really doesn't care about what anyone else thinks about her. And I think that like kind of was rare because it didn't fit like the Asian stereotype that you would see on screen.
Summer look. That's approved.
Even after the show came out, I've gotten like mail from fans have been like, thank you, like this is really the first time I've seen myself being accurately represented on screen, and that just means the entire world to you to be like, wow, like I'm able to inspire young girls and they're able to, you know, maybe gain confidence just by seeing someone that like looks like them or just has like similar personality traits. And I think that's what's so great about just Claudia and BSC in general, that everyone I feel like can identify as like a different girl, if not multiple.
I am ready to celebrate. I have been dreaming of banana splits and candy all day long.
My next question for you is, what was the most memorable thing about playing Claudia?
So like, that's easy. I'm sure you've had the same answer. We're going to see in a minute, but it had to be her wardrobe and getting to eat junk food on set all the time.
I think it's a great idea.
So all the other actresses were super jealous of Claudia's wardrobe, just the fun, loud colors and prints, the funky hats, and of course, the earrings. Can't forget the earrings.
They're so cute. I love them. Thank you, guys.
Oh yeah.
What was your favorite thing about playing Claudia?
I mean, I think I'm gonna have a pretty similar answer to you, but definitely just like her wardrobe and just being able to kind of, I think when you have all the different like components, like her wardrobe, her hair, and just everything, it makes you feel, I definitely got kind of like this energy rush just from playing Claudia, because she just has this fun and like contagious personality that I just love so much. And definitely eating the candy for sure.
Twizzlers, watermelon gummies, I have cake.
It probably got so many cavities, but it's okay. It's just such a fun experience. Did you read the BSC books like in your childhood at all?
Of course. Everyone I knew read the books growing up. That was the era. Back then, you got to remember, this was a long time ago. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have Netflix. We didn't even have social media.
Social media rots your brain.
Matter of fact, on demand wasn't even a thing. So if you missed a TV show, unless you bought like a VHS tape and pushed record, you missed it forever. So we read a lot. And yes, I love the Babysitters Club. I can't say I read all the books. I read a lot of the books. Definitely every Claudia book. And honestly, every 8 to 12-year-old girl that I knew did the same thing. It was a big deal. You asked me, I'm asking you back. Did you read the Babysitters Club books before you landed the role?
I did, actually. In grade 2, I would say. I think maybe a little later. I just was obsessed with the BSC in elementary school. So like during lunches, my teacher had like this like little library in her classroom, and we just like read the books. And I would say at like lunch and stuff, we'd pretend to be a part of the BSC, as I think a lot of like just kids did in general. And Claudia was just such an inspiration to me, so just thinking that I get to portray her like years later is just insane. But yes, I did read the books and I loved them very much.
I can't live without the Babysitters Club, and the Babysitters Club can't live without me.
You know, I'd love to hear about kind of your personal experience playing Claudia, and how did that like influence you growing up?
So that was my first and only acting job. It was my second audition, I want to say, but it was an amazing first job. So it's influenced me in ways that I can't even describe, because it really shaped a lot about me from a work ethic standpoint, allowed me to, pay for some of my college when I graduated from high school. And that's an opportunity I might not have had. So it's changed my life for sure. In a kind of a different conversation, it's really empowered me. Like I say, now looking back at it, it's really empowered me in a big way to kind of as a reminder and an introduction that the world doesn't always see you the way that you see yourself, right? So whether it was playing Claudia and helping to break through some of those stereotypes 30 years ago, or being, an active mentor and ally like I am now to the minority communities and cultures as an adult, it matters by just showing up and standing up when it counts. And it may not seem like it's, changing the world, but if it changes someone's experience, then it is. But when I was growing up, a long time ago, characters like Claudia were rare.
What kind of fantasy world do you inhabit? My world. Why do you have to criticize everything I do? I don't criticize you for loving mathematics. Maybe we should just stay in our own worlds.
And I found it to be inspiring to me. Do you think things have changed? I know you weren't around in the 90s, but do you think that that's still a thing where it's uncommon or more uncommon to see Asian women and girls break out of that stereotype, or do you think it's still here?
I think we're slowly starting to kind of break that, but I can't confirm and say 100% that all the stereotypes for, Asian Americans in general have been broken. I think there are still kind of, those few characters that definitely still do follow that stereotype a little bit. And I think, like you mentioned, just having characters like Claudia, she's really slowly but surely just changing kind of the world of film and just representation and diversity. But I think it's something that we're slowly working towards. And I have seen just like a difference the past few years, even with auditioning and stuff. So yeah, there is some change, but we're not there yet, for sure.
Not there yet. Well, look, you're playing a huge part of that. So just don't ever underestimate that that impact that you have, because you're a part of creating that change. So that's something you should be really proud of.
Thanks.
Okay, it's raining. Hold on, I gotta go.
Earth to Claudia. What?
Sorry, it was pouring down rain, so I had to run up under the cover. So I apologize for the break. But I'm dry and I'm safe, so it's okay. Okay, what were my favorite pieces of iconic outfits from Claudia? I can tell you 100%. Purple tights, black boots. I know, it's 30 years later, I know. Purple tights, black boots, a gray short jumper over the tights, a jean jacket, and earrings made out of noodles. I remember that outfit so clearly. I don't know why, but I do.
Think of all the beautiful clothes.
I'm trying to think. Season 1, there's a ton of good outfits in season 2 too, guys. That's the only thing I'll say. But season 1, she had this one outfit. It was like a denim overall kind of jumpsuit thing, and it had like custom little patches on it. So it had like they painted like this face on it, and she wrote BSC on it, and it just looked like something that just like Claudia, she just like drew all over herself. And like there was a bunch of like different fabrics within the one. I still have that actually. It was just, I kind of have it just as like a keepsake, but that was like my favorite outfit ever.
Oh, that sculpture is cool. What's it about?
Menstruation.
So I actually have had the opportunity to watch the new series. Mo, I love it. You're amazing.
Thank you.
It is so fun for me to watch it. I'm a parent now. I've got kids older than you. So to see, how you've recreated and brought back Claudia in such a unique way that's so you, I just am, it makes me feel so proud to have been a part of version 1 and just amazed and astounded to see what you guys are doing with version 2.
Your work is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I watched clips from the original show, and I think it's just so interesting because there's something about Claudia that I think is just kind of carried on like just by each generation. It's just so cool to see other people be kind of like portraying the same character because everyone has, I think, something different to bring to the character from like their own personalities. It's just crazy to think that I'm inspiring others, and I think one thing I've kind of learned from the experience is just to really use my platform to educate others, and also to just hopefully continue to inspire others to make change. And who knows, maybe if they do another reboot of BSC, they might be playing the next Claudia, which is just crazy for me to think. But I mean, it definitely happened a few times, so it could be a possibility,
Oh my God, the phone! The phone is Sabine! Hello, Babysitter's Club.
What did I think about them putting the landline in the new series? Well, I mean, I will say, before even the show, I did know what a landline was, but I'd never used like a real one before. So just seeing the like iconic landline, and it's so cool. It's like clear and it has all these like lights and colors. That was just like, we were so excited just seeing it for the first time. And I think it's so great that they incorporated that because like I mentioned, BSC is so like timeless. And I think just incorporating kind of those little things from the original book series and like the original show, I think that's kind of just like a great kind of like mark of just how far Babysitter's Club has like come just throughout like all these different generations.
Hello, Babysitter's Club.
Hello, Babysitter's Club.
I actually said to my husband that I was curious to know if they were going to modernize before we watched, right? Like if they were going to incorporate anything new in with social media or with even just technology, like will they be texting their clients instead of calling them or taking phone calls? So I was actually really happy to see it, to be honest, and kind of see that consistency. Also because kids nowadays don't know what landlines are. So, it's educational as well. But I really was kind of happy to see it. I was surprised, and I was wondering that if it was going to be, again, Babysitter's Club 3.0, where you have texting and everything else kind of in play, or if they were going to keep it traditional. So I was happy to see it.
It's iconic. Oh my God! Good afternoon, Babysitter's Club.
Like, I'd love to have like a landline in my room. I think that's
You
just
can get
so
one.
cool.
They still do them. They make them. You can get one. Ask your parents.
I will. Okay, so Jenny, what do you think Claudia Kishi represents today versus in the 90s?
I think in the 90s, because there was such little representation, she was probably one of the first, kind of younger characters that you saw that was Asian American and, kind of having that cultural breakthrough. So for me, I think the 90s Claudia was kind of like prototype 1.0, right? In a time when it wasn't even really a thing. So now to see how far we've come, and I feel like it's no longer an exception to see a really strong Asian character like yourself,
right.
Claudia now. So what you bring, I think, is refinement to that, right? So it's not just, hey, I'm here and I'm not a stereotype, but it's, yeah, I'm here and there's so much diversity within Asian Americans, and there's so much more complexity there that I think you kind of bring that a more refined view of that representation to the screen.
I just want to add to that. I would also say I think seeing Claudia now, I think it just shows how far I think maybe the character of Claudia has grown, and like you can see you know, all the things she's impacted throughout, just like having her and just having different generations kind of grow up with her. And I think that's so great to see and just continue to see such a strong character like rise on top.